What's going on, everybody? You know what time it is. It's Thursday night. Welcome to the Apex E-Series Showdown here on Rebel Racing Network. And tonight we are taking on Worldwide Technology Speedway in St. Louis. You can see the arches in the distance and the gateway to the west. And going to be a great show tonight. The trucks put on a fantastic race at this track. Cup cars last week, Sunday, did not put on the greatest show, but I think tonight we're going to see a different story. I think we're going to see a lot of fun trying to shift these trucks and try to get the power down all night long. Looking forward to that. I'm Eddie Smith. Glad to have y'all in here tonight. Always want to thank Apex Sim Racing Custom Gear, apexsimracing.com. Want to thank them for being the sponsor here tonight. And glad to have them as always. Let's take a look at the track. Worldwide Technology Raceway. You can see there on the track map, you have a very, very wide 3 and 4, or long, and then a real narrow, tight corner of 1 and 2. So completely two different corners here tonight that these guys are going to have to deal with. You can't, you think about an oval, each turn is the same, for the most part. But here it is drastically different, and you can't forget where you're at. You got to make sure you don't remember or don't forget what turn you are. Go driving down into 1 and 2 and hit that wall in the middle, 1 and 2. So a lot to think about. Some shifting going on. We'll see who decides to shift, who doesn't, who finds that speed. It'll be interesting for sure. Of course, it's in Madison, Illinois, but I'm not sure. We're just going to call it St. Louis. So opened in 1997. Of course, the drag strip was here forever. You can see that in the distance there. But it is a 1.25 mile racetrack. You can see a little go-kart track in the middle there. Just a cool facility. Odd to see this type of track on NASCAR, but they brought it back, and it's cool to see these type of unique tracks and venues on the service and here at Apex as well. So looking forward to this one. As always, got all kinds of sponsors and stuff to think about. We've got the Chuck Pegleg Pole Award we got to give out here early. We got, of course, the Low Cash Motorsports starting grid. Want to thank Trigger Time for the Trigger Time Indoor Shooting Range Jammed Up Award, and Kyle Roberts Handmade Leather Hard Charger Award winner. Want to thank all our sponsors, and of course, Poman Motorsports for the post-race show. Well, qualifying underway, just getting started, and we'll check in on some drivers, see what they're doing. Daniel Holcroft, one of your first drivers on track, as he's going to try to put down a lap here on qualifying. Get up front. Last week he just didn't have a great qualifying effort. Took him a while to get up front. He was eventually able to do that with some pit strategy, but looking to see if he can kind of improve on that here tonight. Caitlin Carosella in chat says, I can't use emojis. Yeah, I don't know. You can use emojis. I think Nightbot just a little quick on the trigger on spamming a bunch of emojis, so do apologize about that. It's definitely nothing personal, just a Nightbot that we use to try to keep the spam down from bots and stuff that come in here. So don't take it personally. Nobody's doing it. It's just an automatic thing. But feel free to talk in chat, post some emojis, and it may not like for you to do a whole bunch. But watching Daniel Holcroft here as he comes around the corner of turn number 4 to set his time and see where he ends up. And so far, sitting second. To go down the corner, he's going to have 2 laps to try to improve on it. We'll see if he's able to improve. Firing down the back straightaway. See fastest laps, Chris McLean going to the top there. We'll see if he's able to, if Holcroft's able to improve off that. You see, didn't look too happy about that time, but we'll see as he crosses the line. Yeah, just a little bit slower, so not able to improve on that time. But we'll see who else is out on the track. Got Charles Stevens out on the track. He has yet to put a line down, or to time down, excuse me. So we'll watch his lap as he tries to get on board here. Charles having a great season so far. Actually sitting second in the point standings. Is yet to find victory lane, though. So looking forward to seeing if he... Oh, and he's going to get loose off of turn number 4. That's going to kill his qualifying effort as he's going to get loose off of turn number 4. You need that speed going into the to the lap. We'll see if he can... if he gets one more, which is not. That turn 4 is just going to be killer because that ruined the start of his next lap. So coming out of the first lap on turn 4, getting loose is a really, really bad time to get loose and get sideways. But we'll see if he can pick up a little bit on that time. You can hear him getting down into third gear, trying to get the run off the corner here and shifting back up into fourth. And as he crossed the line, he was able to improve it by almost a tenth. So that's going to put him 10th, though, in the standing. So about half a second off of the pole position. So see if we got anybody else on track. Looks like everybody is about set a time. Steve Ayers Jr. got him on track maybe. Fastest lap was a 35.211. We'll see if he can. That's good enough for 12th right now. Which is the rear of the field. See if he can improve on that. Haven't seen too many people improve a ton on the second lap. See what he can do right here. And he does. So, yeah, another 34 bracket time. It's going to move him up a spot. Going to jump over the number 8 of Kip Easley and take over that 11th position. But right now, Chris McLean with your provisional pole. We got quite a few drivers have yet to qualify. Matt Rogers, Alan Smith, Willie Evernham, Chuck Pegleg Felts, Anthony Edgerton, and Ray Rogers have yet to qualify. So got some guys who have opportunities to maybe qualify. So see if any of them get out on track. Looks like one is right now. It's Chuck Pegleg Felts going to get himself a lap down. See if he can... get himself a good starting position. Chuck's had a pretty good season this time around. We'll see if he can do anything with this track. We'll go on board with him here. Got a lot of folks in chat tonight. Caitlin Carosella, Derek Donna, and Steve McDonald. Man, glad to have y'all in chat. Hope y'all enjoy it. Got somebody you want to see at any point during the race, you let me know. I'll do my best to get y'all some updates if you need them, but Chuck roaring down the back straightaway, going to go down into turn 3 and 4. Hear those RPMs going way down, electing not to shift. And as he crosses the line, a 35.3. If you can improve on it here. See him shifting, reaching down and grabbing that gear into turn 1 and 2. That's the tightest corner, so you definitely want to do it there. But I see a lot of people shifting in 3 and 4. We'll see if Chuck decides to do that this time. Yeah, doesn't like to. You can carry more speed into this corner, so just trying to get. Oh, he's going to get a little bit loose. Improves upon it a little bit, but going to be a good bit off the pace. Willie Evernham out on track. Going to be one of our last few qualifiers. Got about 3 minutes left in qualifying. We'll see if anybody can do it. Ray Rogers also on the track. Willie, 35 flat last time. See if he can improve on it. And runs about the same dang gum lap. That's pretty good. That's pretty good to be consistent. Ray Rogers coming out. Now, this is odd to see Ray Rogers come out and run a qualifying lap. He's usually starting in the back. But what we saw in the NASCAR race, how hard it is to pass with these guys shifting and stuff, it's going to be so difficult to get a run on somebody. So I think Ray Rogers putting his skill to the test, knowing that he wants to get up there and contend for this win. I mean, there's no more Kevin Harvick driver than this guy right here, Ray Rogers. I mean, he could, and he's going to get loose into turn 1. And he's going to just turn it right into the wall, going to reset and try to go again. I don't know if he'll get another lap, but I don't know if he came and took the green flag. If he did, that's going to be it for him. So Ray Rogers comes with a 35 flat. That's going to be good enough for 12th position. So right now, Chris McClain going to be your provisional pole, and so we'll see if that holds. It looks so far, I don't really see anybody that's going to be able to knock McClain. I mean, he's a good 0.2 faster than second place Garrett Kinder. So, well, all right. Well, let's look at some stuff. Let's look at the standings if we can, and you'll see Chris Bedwell on top. McClain with that win last week, a very, very good win. McClain, a very messy race last week, so it's just kind of wild and crazy. But Bedwell with that one win. Chris McClain now with 2. They are definitely locked in the playoffs. Charles Stevens, talked about him earlier. He was sitting second last week and just hasn't had a chance to get a win. A lot of top 5s, a lot of top 10s. He's got the most top 10s out of anybody, which is why he's up there. But would love to get that win, lock himself into the playoffs along with Daniel Holcroft, who is still searching for that win. He's come so close. Then in 7th, you got Dana Shepard, Charles Feltz in 8th, and tied with him is George C. Williams. And Josh Lokovitz making an appearance in the top 10 there after last week, and he is going to maybe also try to get a win. See some people down at the bottom, Chris Carroll, Aaron Adcock. They have Carroll has missed too many races. He may not make the playoffs. We'll just have to see how that plays out. But Aaron Adcock should be able to make it. We'll see. But he's got one win as well. So lots of drivers out there looking to maybe get something done tonight and get themselves into a better position here. Come playoff time, just a few more races left. You see at the top right of your screen, we only have 5 races into the playoffs, so you got to get it done if you're one of those drivers on the bubble. But let's go ahead and get into the grid. On the front row is the Chuck Pegleg Pole Award winner, Chris McClain, last week's winner. Garrett Kinder had a disappointing finish last week, but he starts outside the front row, so looking forward to seeing what those two do. I think they'll race their guts out, and I think that'll be very exciting. Row number 2 is Chris Bedwell, your points leader, with Tracy Passons looking to get a win tonight too. George Williams going to start 5th. 6th, Aaron Adcock. 7th, Dana Shepard. 8th, Josh Lokovitz. Starting 9th is Daniel Holcroft. Starting 10th, Charles Stevens Jr. Starting 11th is Stephen Ayers Jr. and Ray Rogers starting outside of him in 12th. Starting 13th, Kip Easley. And outside of him is Willie Evernham in the 14th position. Starting 15th, Chuck Pegleg Feltz. Alan Smith going to start in the 16th spot in that number 3 Trigger Time Chevrolet. Driving a Toyota is Matt Rogers. He's going to roll off in 17th. 18th is Anthony Ederson. That's going to round out your field and your Low Cash Motorsports starting grid. All right. It is getting ready to get rolling. I'm excited to see how this is going to play out. How racy are these going to be? These trucks on this track, we saw the Cup race be kind of spread out, hard to pass. Will that be what we deal with tonight? Let's look at the race analysis and get ready to get this rolling. 145 laps, 4 total sets of tires, 75% fuel, and of course the all ever-present stage break at lap 35. Top 5 will get bonus points for that position. Pace truck is off, and we're getting ready to go green here at Gateway. Barney waving the green flag. We are wide open as Bedwell giving a big push to Chris McClain down the front straightaway. Is going to push him down into turn number 1. And McClain able to clear him for the top spot. Garrett Kinder going to dive right behind him as they come screaming down the back straightaway. Those trucks just getting up to speed, and they'll take their first full speed corner right here. So far, so good, as they all get clear. Up front, we already have a battle for the top spot. It's going to got three-way battle. You see Chris Bedwell deciding to try to run that top side quickly, but McLean going to fall back behind Garrett Kinder as they go down the back straightaway on just lap number 3. Excuse me, 2. Garrett Kinder got a nice run off the corner, able to get to the inside, and didn't waste any time getting by that 5 truck, as here comes Chris Bedwell along with him. So the high side, not real sure how well it works right now. We'll see if McLean can make something happen, but going to need to see McLean. Oh, he does. He's able to get himself past Bedwell and get his sights back on the 13 at Garrett Kinder. We saw a lot of mistakes. You know, just a wild finish. You know, last half of the race was pretty crazy last week. I'm expecting to see a little bit more calm out of these guys tonight. It was a very rare race. Garrett Kinder, your leader, got taken out and ended his race, who had a pretty much dominant truck. So it'll be interesting to see if he can rebound tonight and maybe get him a win. We got a battle here. This is for the 7th, 6th position. As Charles Stevens Jr., Dana Shepard, George Williams with Aaron Adcock right out front. They were side by side, but they get kind of single file. But here comes George Williams around the outside of Ray Rogers. Ray trying to work that bottom. George Williams way up the racetrack, going to try to get a run off the quarter and see if he can maintain that position. But Ray looking fast already. He's going to be able to clear him. That's going to open the door for Willie Evernham, who's going to look down to the inside. George Williams kind of caught on that outside. We can see the outside just not working at the moment, and he is going to lose even more positions. You see, he's always just going to drive the track, just concede these spots, saying, man, I'm just bleeding positions here. I need to get back in line. And now Kip Easley goes down to the inside, takes that 8 truck. Probably the best-looking truck on the track, I got to say. We don't have a best paint of the night sponsor, but if we did, about every week it's going to go to that 8 truck because it is a good-looking machine. Kip Easley did a great job. It is a truck replica of Kyle Busch's scheme. McLaren grills. McLaren grills. Excuse me. Starting to settle down here. Garrett Kinder still with the lead up front. Not pulling away exactly. Chris McLean's actually right there. A little bit faster the last lap. And again faster here on lap 8. We'll go on board and just listen to the shifting. You definitely heard him hit 3rd there in the middle of 1 and 2. Let's see what he does in 3 and 4. Well, he gets a nice run down the straightaway. That's going to open the door here. Side by side for the lead here on lap 8. We've already had a couple lead changes before lap 10. We'd love to see it. Oh, the 5 is going to slide up in front of Garrett Kinder. Is Kinder going to have the momentum to be able to do a crossover? It doesn't look like it. So Chris McLean, last week's winner, and 2nd in points, showing his strength early. Garrett Kinder trying to come back, make a move here on the 5 truck. Not done racing just yet, the 13 says. Now Bedwell in that 95 looking on. See if these guys can get up here and battle, open the door for him. But as far as this track, it's just an interesting way of racing. It's such the 1 and 2 is so long, or so tight, where 3 and 4 is a long turn. You really have to be patient on the throttle. You can't get on it too soon. The track's just too flat. You have to wait, kind of just maintain speed throughout the corner, and as you get to the point where you can gas it up, then go. You have to be careful. You don't want to get tight off that corner and smack that wall. It comes up quick, as we saw quite a few times in real life. So you have to be patient. But right now, the difference is going to be who can master the shifting while also hitting the lines. You want to drive down in the corner, shift where the car doesn't get out of shape. But you also want to be careful that you're not in that third gear off the corner. You're not spinning the rear tires and causing it to burn those up. So a lot to think about. I think this track's really going to separate the field by skill, I think, is it takes a lot of mental capacity and talent to be able to do all those things all at once. And I think we're going to get some long runs, so we'll see who's able to do it right now. Chris McLean not playing around. Now somebody who is catching up to this group is Tracy Passons, who has he started in 4th, but currently getting up to the back end of Chris Bedwell. Garrett Kinder, last lap, was the fastest truck on the track, so trying to find a little bit of extra speed, but Tracy has just slowly been creeping up into the picture up here as we got a battle right behind him. Josh Lokovitz, Aaron Adcock, and Charles Stevens waiting in the wind. So we'll go on board with Ray Rogers as he is looking on to this battle. He is sitting in the 8th position. Aaron Adcock going to go to the outside of Josh Lokovitz there in that gray truck. If he's able to clear him down this corner, Lokovitz still there. Ray Rogers going to look down to the inside. You hear that shift down in 3 and 4. So some people electing to shift in 3 and 4, some are not. Just see how tough it is to get the run on somebody. Even though he was on the inside, he just could not keep the momentum up to make that pass. Oh, Josh Lokovitz goes down the corner and doors the 17 truck. So he's actually going to get that position as Aaron Adcock. Oh, and now the 79 gets into the wall. Lokovitz and Aaron Adcock going at it here on lap 14. We got a whole 130-something laps left. It is so hard to pass on this track. It seems like it takes laps and laps once the tires start to wear out. Oh, Aaron Adcock gets a little bit shaky there in turns 1 and 2. Maybe open the door for Charles Stevens, who's going to look to the inside. I think it highlights just how frustrating tracks like this are, where, I mean, he made just, one little mistake, got into the back end of Josh Lokovitz, and now he's under fire from Charles Stevens Jr. just like that. I mean, just so quick. And now we're seeing him be in the same position that we saw George Williams in earlier, where now he's on the outside and he's got a train of trucks behind him. He needs to he's going to get in the wall. Aaron Adcock going to get a little bit of that wall. That's even worse. Now he's going to go back even further. And now he's going to drop back to the 8th position. See Dana Shepard joining this battle is Kip Easley. Dana Shepard side by side. Dana going to get a massive run down the straightaway. And maybe to get down to the bottom, you see Dana entering in pretty high on the track, trying to get a run off the corner. But just see how quickly people are getting runs, and then they get a little bit loose, or they get a little bit tight, and they immediately lose a ton of track position. And it's got a battle here for second place. between Bedwell and Garrett Kinder. Garrett Kinder going to do the smart thing. Bedwell ran him down, going to let him go. Bedwell running about the same lap times as McLean, but honestly, there's a lot of folks that are running similar lap times. If you look there on the left side of that tower, on the right of the tower, you see Chris McLean, Bedwell, Charles Stevens, Ray Rogers, all in the .1s. So Chris Bedwell takes over the second position and going to start to try to run down McLean as he's about 0.3 faster than McLean that last lap. All right, let's go on board. I will, you ask, and I will deliver. Let's go on board. Got Dana Shepard here looking on the inside of that 43 truck as they're trying to get solidly in the top 10. We got Kip Easley all over the back bumper of that 43 machine. You hear Dana not shifting in 3 and 4. Now that does hurt the drive from the middle off, but it's a little bit safer. You don't feel like you're going to lose the rear tires. So and then a little shift right there to try to get that thing going. You see Charles Stevens Jr. actually blinking out here. And you could see where the shifting, why it's this track is so unique in this way. As a lot of guys, I mean, you run ovals, you very rarely ever shift in these trucks. I mean, I know the next gen is pretty used to shifting a lot, but in these trucks, you don't shift that often. And so to come into a track like this where it's a necessity that you do that, you can just see the differences. Dana doing a great job. You can just see not comfortable with that shifting just yet, but hey, that's why we got 145 laps, so you can perfect it. But yeah, just not wanting to do it in 3 and 4, which I think 3 and 4 you don't have to. I think it's just depends on what you're trying to accomplish. But you see the RPMs go all the way down in the 4,500 range. Really bogs down the motor when you push that pedal. Just not a you're just not getting the torque that you would if you were in a higher gear. So, but like I said, it's a little bit easier. It's a little bit safer. And you're not at risk of spinning out. But that 43 truck struggling just a little bit. You can see that steering wheel all the way to the left. Probably be glad to get down pit road, get 4 tires. The last lap by a little bit faster than Charles Stevens, so Dana is still doing a great job. Slowly working up to the 88. Up to second place, Chris Bedwell looking on to your leader. He was catching him, starting to stall out a little bit, especially as they hit dirty air. So we'll see if he's able to kind of break through that. And we'll look at the difference between the two right now. You see the last lap. Chris McLean was a little bit faster, but they've been trading blows the last few laps. And you actually see Chris Bedwell getting a nice run down the back straightaway, so he is getting there. He is close. Just under 0.3 right as Tracy Patson is going to go around Garrett Kinder. Garrett Kinder falling off quickly. I know he's ready to get 4 tires, but man, Bedwell doing a great job in this 95 Chevrolet of saving tires. It shows why he's a points leader. He is no stranger to the front, always winning races here in Apex, and always a contender for the championship. This battle's about to start to heat up here really, really soon, but we're starting to see a lot of guys moving. Right now, the biggest mover, of course, is Ray Rogers. But, man, it looks like we're going to have a battle for the lead as here comes Chris Bedwell to the inside of that 5 truck. The 5 truck just not driving as well as he would like for it to right now, and that's going to allow the 95 to get there. The 95 definitely has saved a good amount of tires. He's able just to kind of really drive around that 5 truck. So Chris McLean, really fast early. McLean's one of those drivers who just can't stand to see somebody get in front of him. If Garrett Kinder didn't go up there and race him, I think Chris McLean would have a little bit better tires. But he cannot stand for somebody to pass him. And so as soon as Garrett Kinder goes up and passes him, he had to go up there and take it back. And I wonder if he didn't burn those tires up just a little bit. Still running in second, having a great run, but Bedwell definitely doing a little bit better job of saving tires, no doubt about that. So Bedwell now your leader as he starts to pull away from the 5 truck here on lap 27 of 145. Be interested to know how many laps they can go on fuel and what the tire run. Of course, we know they have 4 total sets, so 3 more after this one. You can't just go whenever you want to. Of course, the fall off is about 1.5 seconds, so as this run continues on, those tires are going to be extremely valuable. We'll see who decides to come down pit road first. Go back. Dana Shepard, Kip Easley still battling back here for this 9th and 10th position. Kip Easley going to take it. Been slowly catching Dana for a while. Dana's starting to really struggle with the front of that truck. You can see it start to sail into the corner. And Kip actually has a really bad turn there, so Dana may be able to get back to the inside here. Not quite able to do it, but looks like these drivers both have handfuls, which I tell you what's a lot of fun. Get out there and race each other with these really ill-handling trucks, getting sideways, pushing the truck to the limit. Gotta love it. That's why we do it. But just about 5 laps to go for this stage. The first stage break, of course, your top 5 is going to be the guys who win the points. And I tell you, there's somebody in 5th place who is having a great run. That is Josh Lokovitz, man. He is currently battling it out with Ray Rogers, but he is having a great run here tonight as he's holding off Ray Rogers, one of the toughest, as he's trying to get those last little bit of points. And both these drivers have moved up quite a bit. Lokovitz has moved up 3 spots, started 8th, and now running 5th, but he is going to have his hands full the next few laps as Ray Rogers. Oh, and Josh gets really, really loose there. Off the quarter, you saw that wheel going all left and right. Ray Rogers is going to try to get back to that back bumper. Maybe force him into a mistake. We've seen that high line not be able to really hold off, a charge on the inside. But as these tires start to wear, I'm just interested to see if that high line has any kind of grip. And maybe, is Lokovitz going to get sideways again? But, man, you see the benefits of shifting gears. He got sideways, but able to keep that bad boy rolling. Now, I tell you what, those rear tires will be hotter than a fox's butt in a pepper patch, though, by the time we get to the end of this thing, as he is really hanging that rear end out every corner. And I think Ray Rogers trying to be patient here to make this position, but if they don't get to it for too long, Aaron Adcock's going to have something to say as he has gotten back around Charles Stevens Jr. and is making a run back to the back bumper of the 51 truck. So Ray not going to be too patient for very long, but if I know Ray, he doesn't really care too much about that. He is just going to make it to the finish. He's going to keep that 51 truck in order. We'll go on board with Aaron Adcock as he tries to run these guys down. One more lap here in the stage, I believe, unless they throw it exactly on lap 35. We'll see what Boss Man decides to do. Josh Lokovitz is going to go around. Lokovitz sideways. But as they come off of turn number 4, your stage 1 winner is going to be Chris Bedwell in that 95 with Chris McLean right on his tailpipes. So Chris Bedwell wins the first stage here at Gateway, and caution is out for that stage as, man, tough break for Lokovitz, who went around. And we were just talking about how he was trying to hold on to that 5th place position and was just giving it all she's got to make that happen. And he comes off the corner and just gets a little bit loose. And we're going to go back and see what happened to the 79 machine as, like I said, Chris Bedwell with your stage 1 win. Let's go see what happened. Get it from the ranch, Wreckage Rewind on board. Well, looking at Josh Lokovitz, going to get that gear, come off the corner, and just gets a little bit too loose and bow right into the inside wall. The front bumper just yeets itself, calls it a day. And see George Williams get loose back there. But, man, that is a messed up truck. Thank goodness for fast repairs, man. We got him in here, and he's going to need them. That truck looking pretty rough. Well, everybody going to come down pit road here as pit road is open. 4 tires of fuel going to be the call for everybody. You know, the lap times were really falling off. I mean, 2 tires not going to save you. I don't think it's going to do you any good to take 2 tires. So expect to see 4 tires of fuel out of everybody, especially guys up at the front. I think we've seen some guys try to take tires, try to save a set at some point, and we saw Joseph Mahar last week. It really hurt him. So not expecting to see that here tonight, as I think that would be a mistake. You see Chris Bedwell driving around the stairs there that are on pit road. Well, who's going to win the race off pit road? 4 tires and fuel as the jack goes up on Chris Bedwell. See if he can win the battle, or if Chris McLean can steal that track position. Is going to be super important as they race off the line. Chris Bedwell easily going to take it. And see Tracy Passons comes out in 3rd place. So Tracy having a good stop. Garrett Kinder just a little bit slow. Going to drop a spot, but see Josh Lokovitz in that green truck going to get that fast repair, get that truck back out there. He is going to be all the way back in 12th, though, after that half spin. We don't do commercial breaks, but I do want to talk about Apex SimRacing.com. That is your main sponsor here on this series and for tonight. Jimmy over at Apex does some great work. All kinds of sim racing, sim rig equipment, customizable, button boxes, things for your stream deck, all kinds of things to make your rig just customize it however you want. Look at all those button stickers where you can just have all kinds of things on there. Make your car look exactly like they got in real life. And you can really customize it, make it your own. Jimmy's got all kinds of stuff over there, so go check it out. But stage 1 in the books. That's going to be, I think, Chris Bedwell, Chris McLean, Garrett Kinder, Tracy Passons, and Ray Rogers were your top 5 as they crossed the line. As, man, Josh Lokovitz almost had that 5th place finish, but got loose off the corner trying to hang on to it. We saw him. We talked about those rear tires getting hot. That's the danger to shifting, is that you really put those rear tires in jeopardy. And once they get heated up in iRacing, it's really hard to cool them back down while you're under green flag conditions. So something to be thinking about. A lot of folks heard it, saw it, and, I think a lot of guys are going to be like, well, maybe I just take it a little bit easy on this run because we have the opportunity to go really long. Well, I tell you what, let's, if we can, let's talk to your stage 1 winner here, and Chris Bedwell. Chris Bedwell, this 80 in the booth, got a copy?
I got a copy.
Well, man, congratulations. I know y'all about to go back green here in a lap or so, but congratulations on that stage 1 win. You're able to save those tires, get up there, and pass Chris McLean. What's the strategy here, knowing that you don't have that stage break, and it's possible that you go the length of the fuel run here?
Hang on, Eddie. Sorry. They're asking if I called outside. Yeah, I totally forgot what you were saying, but just saved tires as much as I could and let the two guys in front of me run as hard as they could and just got around them eventually. We'll see what happens here on this long run. Hopefully we can go green the whole way. It should play in my favor.
All right, Chris Bedwell sounding pretty confident. His strategy worked out the first stage. I would imagine, for the long run, if he can have that patience, do what he needs to do like he did last time, I think he'll be okay. Now, can Chris McLean, Garrett Kinder, and Tracy Passons adjust what they did and try to mimic that and try to outsave the 95? We'll see. Track position just really, really important, but we'll see how this goes. Bedwell going to have control of the restart on the outside. And green flag is out. Chris Bedwell with a fantastic start. Let's crank it up. Battle for the lead is Chris McLean. Like I said, not going to wait around to save any dang tires. We're going for it. The 5 going to go down to the inside and try to take over the lead. I can imagine Bedwell not going to fight him that much, although he does fight a little bit on the outside. Not going to make it easy, as here comes Garrett Kinder to play along with Tracy Passons. So you can see Bedwell pretty committed to saving tires, kind of lets the 5 go, doesn't fight too hard. That's probably the smartest thing to do. It's always a balance of track position versus tire wear. How far are you going to go back to save tires? At some point, you have to, get on the wheel. And hang on to that track position and see Willie Everingham get a little bit loose there on the inside, be able to hang on to it. Now the battle is for second. It is now Garrett Kinder goes around that 95 machine. So you definitely tell the 5 and the 13, they didn't learn nothing because they're still going. They ain't going to save nothing. And Bedwell back to the back bumper. That 13 pushes him down the front straightaway. You can see no intentions to pass, not wanting to fight for that position right now. And now Tracy Passons is going to set his sights on that 95 machine as well. I think what Bedwell does, he knows his strategy worked last time. He knows that both those drivers got out there and got a big lead, and he was still able to run him down. I think you fall back to third or fourth, maybe let Tracy Passons go, save as much as you can, and then start to push back towards the front. That strategy gets harder and harder as we go, as Ray Rogers, Charles Stevens, Aaron Adcock, they're going to start moving their way to the front. So I think Chris is willing to give up the top 2, but maybe he'll fight a little bit as that 53 truck gets to him. But right now, Chris McLean setting sail like he did earlier, starting to pull away. Now he is definitely good enough to learn from a last run and look at his tires, know what he needs to do differently. He didn't have to fight Garrett Kinder like he did before. They were battling for that top spot, so we'll be able to hang on to it, those tires, a little bit longer. So we'll see if he's able to pick up anything from last run, apply it here on the long run. They got about 44 laps on fuel, so probably anywhere between 42 and 46 laps, I would say. So they've already got 8 laps on these tires, or at least 8 laps since they pitted. So it's going to be a long race now that I'm realizing. I think a lot of times this track really kind of slides one in on folks when they build these schedules, as this track is a 1.25 mile track. However, the lap time, because you're running so slow, I mean, we see people shifting in the corners because they're going under 100 miles an hour. The lap times are around 35 seconds, so it is going to be a long, long race. This is over half the length of the actual real NASCAR race here. So strap in, get yourself a cup of coffee. It's going to be a long one, but we're going to bring it all to you right here as we're already 45 minutes into this thing. Everybody kind of single file at the moment. Ray Rogers putting a little pressure here on Tracy Passons, but nothing too crazy. Everybody running similar lap times. Chris McLean, the only one really laying down some fast ones, but fuel runs about 44 laps. We're looking at around lap 85 and 90, I would assume. And you kind of want to probably run that a little bit long if you can get, because it might be 2 more stops before we finish this thing. Because if they can run 40, if you're not able to make it to 100, you're going to have to make 2 stops. So unless we get a string of cautions, these long runs here are going to be extremely, extremely important to get all that you can get. Getting on and off pit road really important as well, but see everybody kind of single file, not really any battles going on around the track. Kevin Kinder says, wow, long race, gonna have to get more drink. I think I might join you there, Kevin Kinder. We might have a prolonged crank it up segment at some point, as we may not have too much to talk about. I just didn't realize how long this race is going to be. But Derek Donald says, with races this long as their stage breaks every 35 or just 35 laps. Here in Apex, they only do 1 stage for bonus points. And it's really to preserve the tire-saving strategies. There's quite a few leagues who run stages similar to the Truck Series. And what you have is just a lot of guys just going all out, which is fun. But you want to reward people for saving tires, being smart, having green flag pit stop skills. All those things are really important. And I think 1 stage really gives you that. You get that first run to really see what that truck can do. Push it to the limit. See what you can do. See how that first run goes. Did you burn the tires up? Do you need to adjust anything? And then after that, you better hope that you make the right choice, as it can go a long, long time. A couple fuel runs in the last stage, which is always a lot of fun. Checking in on Josh Lokavitz, who we talked about earlier, had that issue. Got loose off the corner, but he is now back into this thing, back up to the 9th position. Trying to get that 79 truck. He was extremely fast. Seems to be doing a good job at shifting. Just got to be careful on that throttle, not to burn those rear tires off. That's what got him in trouble last time. And I think he was really trying hard there at the stage break to stay in that 5th position. And I think that's where that came from. But he has definitely got a lot of speed, showing some strength here tonight. He's got some cars up in front of him he'd love to get around. You see how he's really sliding that rear end off the corner, and that's a lot of fun. See how he goes down in the corner and shifts. It actually kind of, the truck almost weaves back and forth under that shift. It helps it turn. If you shift at the right time, it can help that truck keep from getting a push into the entry here. That's why you do a lot of shifting. It helps the truck kind of rotate a little bit on entry, and then gives you a lot more throttle off. You see, just trying to take it easy on the tires off of the longer, wider 3 and 4. We got Kevin Kender in the chat. We don't have Ratchet Miller. Now, where's Ratchet at tonight? Kevin? We might need him to cause a caution if he can get in here. Someone we hadn't talked too much about tonight is Daniel Holcroft, who is not having the night he wanted, him or George Williams. Right now, currently running in the 14th position. He has dropped 5 spots since the start of this race. So started 9th and is just not having the run that he wanted to have so far. We'll see what he's got on the long run, but you know, he is sitting there in a good spot in points. Would love to have a really, really good night. Now, he was in the same position last week. You know, I'm definitely not throwing shade because last week he was in the same position. Caution came out at the right time, and he had some pit strategy able to get up there in the mix in the top 5. So definitely don't count him or any of these Nitro boys out, as they will they'll make some hay towards the end of these things. But long, long race, so got a lot of time to make up any kind of time lost. But time's running out. It's a contradictory sentence if I've heard anyone at all. I say you got a long time, but you better hurry up. Give Apex a little bit more add time. But up front, Chris Bedwell starting to do the same thing he did last time. McLean about 1.6 seconds ahead of Bedwell. You can see that truck up there. So we'll see if Bedwell can make any time up on this long run, just like he did before, as we still have quite a few laps before we even think about green flag pit stops. And outside of Josh Lokovitz, we really haven't seen anybody have any issues. So check in on Boss Man here. Let's see what check in on Aaron Adcock, because he is taking that 17 machine down on the inside, trying to make a move here on Kip Easley. You can hear he's shifting in 3 and 4. Running a little bit different line, entering in a little bit higher, trying to get the run off the corner. Didn't quite get it. As you see, Kip was able to really drive off there, but seems like Aaron a little bit better in 1 and 2. It seems where the shifting is a lot nicer. You see the same line here in 1 and 2. Now all of a sudden it's a little bit different, as Aaron's going to get a nice run off the corner right to the back bumper. So it looks like Aaron a little bit better in 1 and 2. 3 and 4, Kip Easley seems to have a little bit better run through the corner. This is a nice battle here, man. It's so much fun as a sim racer to try to figure out how am I going to get around this dude. Dadgum. I think I'm faster than him, but I can't get around him. And that is so much fun. You don't even think about the race trying to win. You're just thinking about this guy out the front bumper and you trying to get around him while also trying to keep the guy behind you from getting a run on you. So it's so much fun, especially when you have a length of a race like this where you can really work on a guy. See what he's doing, try to apply it, and try to make a run at it. Man, Aaron gets a nice run there, but Kip able to get the dang power down. It's impressive. So Aaron got some work cut out for him here to get this done. Now, I'll tell you what, who has figured it out? Chris McLean. I'll tell you what, right now, made some adjustments there under that caution, under that stage break, and this time around, Bedwell is not making the same kind of ground he was. Bedwell 10th faster the last lap, but that interval was up to 2 seconds. Ooh, McLean actually going to get a little bit close to that wall. So McLean doing a good job this time. We'll see how long it lasts. They're going to have to run probably another 20 laps or so. They are 26 laps into this stint. So about 20 more laps left in this fuel run. So you got to keep with it. Ratchet Miller says he's watching softball championship. The Oklahoma Sooners girls softball. Well, I hate to take you away from that, but sometimes we might need a caution. Got a battle here. Ray Rogers back to the back bumper. Tracy Passon just slowly been creeping its way up to that 53 truck, who has started to run down the 13 as well. Justin Miller said in chat, somebody speed those Roger twins up. I heard that. Well, Ray qualified tonight, but didn't have a great qualifying effort, so he still had to drive up through the field, but he's sitting in the 5th spot. And I got a feeling, Garrett Kinder gets really loose off the corner, able to save it. What a monster save out of that 13, which is honestly, I mean, it's no surprise at all. But very, very scary moment for that 13 truck as he lets the rear end kind of slide out. You can really see he is doing the same thing we saw out of Josh Lokovich trying to catch these guys. You hear him shifting a whole lot earlier to try to get the engine braking to slow this thing down. And look at him. He's being aggressive on the throttle. Same thing that was happening to Lokovich. It's so hard. Once you do that, you gotta stop it. You got to stop it. But then you look in your rearview mirror. Here comes Tracy Passons. Oh, and he's gonna get up into the wall. They're 3 wide. Ray Rogers goes to the inside of Garrett Kinder. I don't know if Kinder was just moving out of the way to let those guys go and just got a little bit too high in the corner, but he's going to lose 3 spots in that corner as he falls all the way back to 6th. And Ray Rogers is going to get a twofer, and he's going to get up to 3rd position with Charles Stevens Jr. now able to take advantage of that, and he's down to the inside of Tracy Passons. Now, these two, I'm not really big on drama, but these two did not see eye to eye the last couple races, so a little bit of animosity here between 2 affiliate team members. We'll see if anything comes of it here, but hopefully they'll just stay clean. I don't imagine they would, but you never know. You never know in big time sim racing. So Garrett Kinder now going to be suffering as he really trying to push that throttle even more to try to recover for what you lost. But like I said in iRacing, once the tires get heated up, it's just really have to give them 5 or so laps of just easy driving to let those tires really cool back down a little bit. They'll never cool all the way back down. It'll just be a long road. Once you burn them up, that's pretty much it. Now up front, it's still Chris McLean. Bedwell has made up about a 10th since the last time we talked about it, but not really that much as Garrett Kinder still struggling off the corner, getting real bad loose. He's going to lose even more time. So I expect to see Garrett Kinder down on pit road as soon as possible, but I really feel like the window is open now. I think if you can go 44 laps, that'll get you in shot of just one more stop after this. So I think everybody's got to make 2 stops from here. Oh, Charles Stevens gasses it up to try to get around Tracy Passons as he's going to actually get loose as well. So you see the danger of that 3rd gear. While it does have some speed in it, you got to be careful with it. It's going to put you in trouble. And both these drivers right here struggling with it as Charles Stevens just saw his opportunity to make a pass on Tracy and just gives it just a little bit too much throttle. Now, as far as the lead goes, Chris McLean still out in the lead. Chris Bedwell 1.8 seconds back. Ray Rogers another 2 seconds back from him. So the top three pretty spread out. You got Tracy Passons about half a second back from Ray Rogers. And then this little battle here between Garrett Kinder, Charles Stevens Jr. You see Garrett Kinder. And he ain't going to give them time to cool down at all. He's like, I bought these tires. I'm going to wear them out. Now, this is where you got to be careful trying to hang on to a spot. Man, both these drivers really struggling right now. Love to go down pit road, get 4 new Goodyears. But a great three-way battles. I'm sure Kip Easley loves to see these guys slide the rear off the corner. It looks like Garrett Kinder going to try to get a run. Not quite able to get there. Dadgummit if it ain't so much fun to watch, I'll tell you that. Ratchet Miller says, Garrett is hanging it out there for sure. Yeah, if there's one guy that can do it over and over again without wrecking, it's definitely Garrett Kinder. Golly. Just no grip. I mean, I'm sure he's not trying to give it that much gas. He's just trying to get off the corner. And you see he's like, I'm out of here. I'm going to get some dang tires. Now here comes the 13. Going to give up that 6th place. Make sure you don't speed here. Gonna get down to this line right here. Ooh, boy, I think you got it, though. 45 mile an hour is the speed limit, so he's going to come down pit road. And he said, I'm done. These rear tires are finished. So we'll see if that brings everybody else in. I mean, he's going to be lapping quite a bit more than everybody else. But there is the danger of going a lap down, so... See, here comes Chris McLean off of turn 4. No takers out of the front runners other than Garrett Kinder so far. We'll see anybody else decides to hit pit road, get 4 tires and fuel. Chris Bedwell not able to replicate what he did last run. I mean, he was able to run Chris McLean down pretty easy and start to set sail, but McLean has done a fantastic job of saving those tires this time. So he was definitely putting it all out there for that stage win, knowing that he only had 35 laps so he could really burn them down. But this run, he is setting a clinic. And currently going around the 3, putting the 3 truck of Alan Smith down a lap. Still waiting on the next leader to come down pit road. Who's it going to be? Wonder how many people are going to miss pit road thinking you can exit off 4. That's one thing we don't really talk about too much. You saw Garrett Kinder go down on the access road in the entrance to turn 3. So how many people are going to remember to do that? You see Chuck Pegleg-Phelps on pit road. He's getting his 4 tires and fuel. But I would be a bet man that and I would think somebody's gonna miss it. I think somebody's gonna think they can exit off of turn 4 and not realize it, get themselves in trouble. But so far, no takers. To make it to the end, you'd have to get to lap 100. I don't think anybody can make it to lap 100. So I don't see that happening at all. Garrett Kinder, and he is lapping almost 2 seconds faster than the field, and McLean can almost feel it. He said, I got to go. Comes down on the access road, comes down pit road. along with Chris Bedwell. So pit road wide open here for these leaders. Kip Easley going to stay out and assume the lead. Oh, excuse me. Ray Rogers. So the first of two hopeful green flag pit stops. Ooh, Kip Easley gets out of shape here off the corner. I can't tell who that is that's slow up there. But looks like maybe been Steve Ayers Jr. Almost some contact here with the lead cars. Here comes Ray Rogers down pit road. Kip Easley, Josh Lokovitz coming down as well. Interesting to see where the blend happens. And here it is. Chris McLean comes out of pit road. He has got a 7/6 of it. It's getting closer and closer. Garrett Kinder did a great job. He pitted 5 laps ago, so McLean's going to have 5-lap fresher tires. That'll be to his advantage. But Garrett Kinder gets pretty dang close. Yeah, the danger for Garrett here is trying to catch McLean. I think you got to just start to save tires, know that you did the undercut to perfection and not drive this truck too hard. That way when you can undercut again later on in the second fuel run, you can make that time back up and maybe have a fighting chance. But right now the danger is to push this truck too hard and put yourself even further behind. Right now, Dana Shepard staying out on track, has yet to pit, and 45 laps, so he is making good fuel mileage. He's going to stay out on track, but that is your leader, Dana Shepard, in that 43 machine. Staying out a little bit longer. Last of 3 trucks that have not come down pit road: Dana Shepard, Willie Abraham, and George Williams. There he comes now. Going to come down pit road, get 4 tires and fuel. And that should cycle Chris McLean back out to the lead, as Garrett Kinder has already fallen to a 2.5 from Chris McLean, who is really, really taking control of this race after that pit stop. Yeah, currently at the end of our first green flag pit cycle here in this run, and if it stays green, we will have another one as we're watching Daniel Holcroft and George Williams battle it out. This is for the 10th position, as Dana Shepard's coming out of pits right now. Had the lead for a moment as it stayed out, and will now blend back into 12th position, but does have the freshest tires of the bunch, so Dana can go get it. As you watch Daniel in that 2 machine try to work his way towards Matt Rogers. Oh, up front, Garrett Kinder. Drops a spot to Chris Bedwell, who is now 3 seconds back from Chris McLean. So Bedwell has only lost time since the start of that last run. So, talking about saving tires, Chris McLean has really done a great job of managing this run. So it's really McLean's to lose. I don't think Bedwell can push hard enough. And if McLean did exactly what he did last time, I don't see Bedwell running him down, although Bedwell is catching him just a little bit, but lead down to 2.6 seconds at the moment. Try to move around, find some battles if we can, find some people that are fighting for positions. Right now, Kip Easley has had a great cycle here and is looking to make his appearance in the top 5. Yep, gonna show his nose down to the corner. Charles Stevens gonna shut the door, but that 8 truck looking really, really strong through the middle of the corner, down the back straightaway. Look, Josh Sokovitz looks on. Yep, doing a great job of shifting. You see some people shifting really late, some people shifting a little bit maybe too early, but Kip doing a great job of shifting just at the right time there in 3 and 4. Let's see how he does in 1 and 2. You see that truck doesn't move or wiggle at all under when he shifts down to 3rd, and you can see the importance of it. So he was able to get a nice run through the middle. Stevens pulls away a little bit, but look at that 8 truck really attacking the corner, making that 88 nervous. See, Tracy passes back there in 8th. Must have not had a good on and off pit road as Daniel Holcroft in the grass. Something has happened to the 2 machine. He is stopping on the track, and he is going to exit out. So something happened to that 2 machine. We'll have to go back and see what happened to him, but I didn't see anything other than exactly what happened there. Go take a look on the Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind and see if we can find out what happened there. But looked like it may have been contact between him and Dana Shepard. Let's go back and look at it on the replay here. Daniel Holcroft in the 2 with the 43, and you see a little bit of contact there. And, man, the 2 goes down to the inside wall, and big damage for that 2. And you see he had already – can't tell. He hasn't used his fast repair, so I can't believe he didn't go back and try to get that thing, but I guess he decided that was enough for him, and he called it a night and had to tow. But so early exit for the 2 machine. Very, very disappointed. Here he is. He is sitting on pit road, so I guess he must have blown his motor and wasn't going to make it around. That must have been what happened. He is back out on track now. Battle rages on. Josh Oakvint's now trying to get to Kip Easley's bumper as Charles Stevens has now started to fall back a little bit. Just going back and look at this replay to see if I could see what happened to Daniel. The reason why he could not turn the car down into pit road. Go and show you what happened real quick on the Rebels picture-in-picture so you know what happened to him. You'll see the RPMs are still going, but you see when he tries to get down to the access road, that left front damage is just too bad. He's going to turn, slow down, and he just cannot get the thing to turn at all. And trying to get it, just see it will not turn to the left, so that's why he went ahead and towed. But he's back out on track, currently a lap down, or 3 laps down, excuse me, so. Charles Stevens continues to fall back as he those tires seem to be really hurting on that 88 machine. He's lost a couple spots in a few laps, and now under fire from Tracy Passons in that 53. Up front, it's still Chris McLean, Chris Bidwell now 1.9 seconds back of your leader. We'll keep an eye on that. He's already made up a second over this run. We'll see if he can continue to do that as we watch this battle here between Charles Stevens and Tracy Passons. Got a battle for third. Ray Rogers. The inside of the 13 of Garrett Kinder. Ray Rogers completes his drive up to the podium. Don't think Garrett Kinder's going to have much for that 51 machine, so Ray Rogers starting in that 12th position should have it going down into 3 and 4 here. We'll see. 13 drives down on the right rear quarter, going to try to hold on to that spot, but the 51 just too strong right now. As the 13 going to try a little crossover, just not enough tires to make that happen. So Ray Rogers moves up into the 3rd position. He is some 6.2 seconds back from second place Bedwell and 8 seconds back from McLean. So he's going to need some help to get up there to those two drivers. But still an impressive drive up through the field. He is currently the biggest mover of the race, with Ray Rogers or Kip Easley being right behind him, with Matt Rogers not too far behind. But yeah, no surprise by anybody to see Ray Rogers work his way through the field. Such a, like I said, a Kevin Harvick type style driver, where he can keep his car, truck, whatever he's driving clean. You don't see him getting into it with too many people. He's pretty quiet on the track, but he'll be there at the end when it matters. I can guarantee you that. Head back to 10th position. Dana Shepard, Matt Rogers. A little bit of racing going on. Matt Rogers was in a 10th, but had a really bad corner there, and now is about half a second back from Dana, who was the Dana just made that pass. Dana, the last one on tires. So best tires on the track is this 43 machine in the top 10, and about a second and a half back from George Williams in that 40. Some of these drivers back here in 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th are in danger of going a lap down. You can see Willie Evernham right here. That's Chris McLean right behind him. If a caution does come out, you don't want to be a lap down. You don't want to have to rely on that lucky dog or a wave around. You want to be able to pit with the lead lap cars. So got guys in danger of going a lap down here. Chuck Pegleg Phelps, first one to go a lap down. Aaron Adcock actually somehow, yeah, we saw what happened to Aaron. Oh, we didn't see what happened to Aaron. I don't know what happened to Aaron Adcock. We'll try to go back and maybe find out. We missed that completely. But Aaron Adcock had some sort of trouble. Now he's currently way back here in the 14th position, and he is a lap down. Not really sure what happened to the 17 truck, as he had some sort of incident. Don't know if he had like a penalty coming in and out of pit road. Not real sure. Yeah, it looks like he had a a penalty for like a bad entering of pit road. I think he got a little bit of the grass, put a tire off the surface, which give you a penalty because he was on pit road for a long time. 54-second stop will do that. So he had a 40-second hold for unsafe pit entrance, and so that puts the 17 about a lap down, well off pace here. So gonna need some help to get that 17 truck back in the game. Well, 40 laps to go. We are now in the second pit window. So if anybody's going to try to make some moves, somebody like Garrett Kinder want to try to make something happen here, now is the time to do it. So he is 10 seconds back from the leader. Chris McLean just has really set sail. He's now back out to a 3-second lead over Chris Bedwell. And I think, I'm not really sure what Bedwell can do. He's doing the best that he can. He did a great job saving tires, but the last 2 runs has really all been with Chris McLean when it comes to saving tires. And now he's dealing with lap traffic. It's going to be even more difficult to keep that gap. And he's losing half a second dealing with lap traffic here, but I think if you're Bedwell and you want to win the race, I think you got to come down pit road and hope McLean doesn't see it. But if you're Chris McLean and you see Bedwell come down pit road, you're going to hit pit lane next time by. But I think you got to make a shot. Get out there with second and a half lap fresher tires, and if you can get 2 or 3 laps before he pits, you can actually undercut him and get out front. So we'll see. Kevin Kinder said it's time for another beverage. Yeah, we got a long way to go. Just under 40 laps to go here at Worldwide Technology Raceway, Gateway to the west, St. Louis. I know it's so confusing. They say it's Worldwide Technology, which I know is a sponsor, and then it's Gateway, and then it's St. Louis, but it's in a different city. So I'll be honest, I don't know where this track is. It could be on the moon for all I know. It's somewhere around there near the Mississippi River. Well, that 79 truck has had a fantastic recovery, man. I tell you, for somebody, of course, he did do it at the right time, right around the stage break. But for somebody that went down to the inside wall, clobbered his beautiful Barrows. See what that. You can tell I was turning my head, but you can get a closer view of that truck. Like BearsleadFarm.com Chevrolet. But knocked the front end off that thing on the inside. Probably did a lot more damage. Got a concussion, a heat stroke, maybe a cavity or something from that hit. So, but able to get the fast spare, come back out under that stage break, and now is sitting in 7th and been kind of stalking the 88 here. The 88 can't decide if he wants to go back or forward. But going to be a nice battle here for this 5th position for too long, I think. Mike V says Madison, Illinois is just on the Illinois side of the river from St. Louis. Well, there you go. See, Josh Lokovitz really lighting those rear tires up again. Sim racers, they just never learn. They just never learn. They get out there and they just can't help it, man. You get out there and you see something. You see that carrot out there, that 88 Ford Carrot out in front of you. You just want to chase it. He wants to catch that 88 machine. He's starting to run out of time. Only 35 laps. Here comes Skip Easley down pit road. So Kip Easley going to make the first trek. Oh, he's going to go in the grass along with Garrett Kinder. What the hell is going on? They're going in the grass. That's probably, you know, we saw a penalty from the 17. I don't know if that's going to be a penalty or not, but holy shit. They have some mowing, landscaping going on in there between those two drivers. We'll kind of go back and maybe see what happened there, but good Lord. Both of them getting wild. We'll go on board with Kip Easley and watch that from his point of view. Go on pick the side by side here as now Ray Rogers takes over the lead, but to watch, this is from Kip Easley's point of view here down on the bottom right. You see Garrett Kinder. He's going to get out on the grass here. You know, Kip Easley said, well, I ain't going to let you get in the grass and me not get out there. And well, he gets out there and they cooling their tires off probably. I don't know why. They're about to take them off. But both those drivers get into the grass. Let's see if we can see what happened to the 13. Did the exact same thing. They're just trying to get as much as they possibly can. And just getting too much. That 13 machine trying to getting with it, trying to get back on pit road. So I don't know if that's a penalty or not. You know, we saw Aaron Adcock get a penalty, but I'm not real sure how that's going to. It looks like Garrett Kinder had no penalty along with Kip Easley, so they're fine. So Aaron Adcox may have been coming off a pit road. Well, the fastest lap of the race was just set by Chris Bedwell, who's trying to make up as much time. He's going to make up about maybe a second and a half on the number 5 who came in right after he did. So no surprise to see that. I think that's the right call, especially if you're Bedwell. So, or excuse me, McLean. Well, it's a long one, y'all. We are about an hour and a half into this broadcast. We've still got 30 laps to go. Anybody have anything for Chris McLean? I think this is a Max Verstappen type situation here. I just don't think anybody, unless we get a caution, I don't think is looks like Dana Shepard getting past. That's 4th position. Dana has yet to pit. But, I mean, McLean's 18 seconds off of the lead. He's not even going a lap down. He was so far out ahead. I mean, it seems like a Max Verstappen type deal where I just don't know if anybody's got anything for this 5 unless we get a caution. And the real battle seems to be from about 5th on back. Garrett Kinder, Josh Lokovitz, Kip Easley, Charles Stevens, Tracy Parsons, they've all had a really amazing race. Ray Rogers comes down pit road. 4 tires and fuel for that 51 machine. We'll see where he bleeds back out on the track. You see just how much it hurts to stay out that much longer. He was about 10 seconds back. Now he's about 15 seconds back from Chris McLean just by pitting 5 laps later. Just that big a difference. And Chris McLean, Bedwell laying the fastest times of the race. Ray Rogers comes out. He's going to blend in the 6th position. But he's going to have a head of steam, 28 laps to get back up to 3rd, which he should be able to do pretty easily with Dana Shepard and George Williams not pitting yet. And he's only 1.4 seconds back from Garrett Kinder, and he's got fresher tires. I know a lot of guys would love to see a caution, but I know Chris McLean definitely not interested in that at all. Wants this thing to go green because he is in command. I mean, there's really nothing he could do wrong at this moment other than just for some reason decide to go hammer down and burn the tires off of it. He can just drive a steady pace. Actually can take it a little easy. Let Chris Bedwell try to, sometimes, it's a fun strategy to get out there and kind of lift a little bit early, save your tires a little bit more, and see that guy behind you start to catch up just a little bit. And he gets excited. He sees those numbers going down, and then he decides, you know what? I'm going to catch him. And they start pushing a little bit harder and burning those tires up, and then you start to ease back into it after about 10, 15 laps and start to pull away. So he's got full control of this race. There's not extra points for winning by 30 seconds versus 1/10. So George Williams comes down pit road. Dana Shepard has yet to head down pit road. Now, if caution does come out before Dana goes down pit road, be in a great position, running well off the pace for sure. But if caution comes out, everybody else is going to come down pit road, and it could be some really nice track position for that 43. See the 43 sliding on entry there. Woo, those tires are not feeling good. Daniel Holcroft said before the race started that the track was extremely hot and really, really slick. So right now the track track temperature is 142 degrees, which is some of the hottest track I've maybe ever seen on iRacing. That is ridiculous. 87 degrees at the track, but 142 degrees on track. I mean, normally 125 is pretty warm, but 142 is pretty insane. So no wonder these guys are having trouble keeping the tires under them. You saw a couple drivers really burning those rears off. So no surprise there. Still waiting on Dana Shepard to come down pit road. Still, he pitted on about 46 laps on a stint. He still has another probably 8 laps left in this one. So we'll see how long he decides to stay out there. He's quickly losing ground to Garrett Kinder and Ray Rogers. But like I said, caution comes out. He's sitting real pretty. There's back to the 4th position. Garrett Kinder, after last week getting caught up with I want to say a lap truck, but I'm not real sure. Regardless, got caught up with another driver and went around while in the lead. So, yeah, it was definitely a lap truck. And, man, just a disappointing finish for that 13. Wanted to get out there and win. Not really running for the championship, just running for wins. And tonight it's just been a tire-saving clinic. And, I think when the track's this hot, Garrett Kinder, his foot's as heavy as it is, it's going to be hard for him to save tires. Just not his style. So, but I tell you what, if a caution does come out, I'm putting money on that 13, baby. Up front, still Chris McLean with a 3.7 second lead over Chris Bedwell, and it's continuously growing as Bedwell really off the pace last lap. Lost a good amount of time. So that 5 machine's on cruise control. He's just leaned back. He reached over there to the side of his racing seat and pulled the handle and just leaned her on back. Got the one arm on the steering wheel. Changing the radio station to an 80s radio station. Turning on some Def Leppard. Van Halen, something just to kind of chill out to. I guess if you want to chill out, you might do something like Led Zeppelin or something like that. I don't know. But I think Van Halen, Def Leppard, I think that's what Garrett Kinder and Josh Lokovitz are listening to with that pedal. So Chris Bedwell dealing with lap traffic is really, just the last few laps have been pretty terrible for him. He is now out to 4 seconds behind Chris McLean, and I think at that point, I mean, there's 4.3 seconds between him and the leader, and Garrett Kinder is back about 11 seconds. So, really no reason to push for the 95. He's not going to be able to run him down at any rate. He could be a tenth faster every lap. He was not going to be able to make it. So you just try to take care of the second place position. Don't get yourself in a bad spot. Take your time around lap traffic. Probably the smartest thing. And Shepard's still out on track, waiting for that caution. Boy, if he could get that caution, it would be great. But it looks like going to have to give it up, come down pit road with about 17 laps to go. Strategy didn't work out, but I bet it'll be a lot of fun when he gets back on track with those 4 tires, for sure. All right, on board with Charles Stevens. As we watch to see if he can run down this 5th position from and steal it from Josh Lokovitz. Oh, Lord. They've been running pretty close in lap times the last few laps. We'll see as they cross the line. Josh a little bit faster, about 0.2 faster that turn. Oh, and he gets really loose, slides the whole dang truck into turn 1. That's going to allow Charles Stevens to really catch up. And I tell you, there's not a better feeling than to see the truck in front of you slide the tires, because, boy, it's like a shark seeing blood in water. You can say, okay, I got him now. And just continue to apply that pressure. His 2 teammates of mine over in the Xfinity Series. And boy, I tell you what, nobody works harder than these 2 guys to try to get better, have fun, race hard. A lot of fun to race with for sure. See the difference in lines. Charles Stevens attacking the corner, but just differently. It looks a little bit more stable, a little bit more control, where Josh Lokovitz looks like he is really attacking the corner, making that truck do some work. They're both running about similar lap times, so whatever works. Just see how much straighter Charles Stevens is on the entry there of turn 1, where Lokovitz really driving in up on that middle lane. Here, Charles Stevens, he's not shifting in 3 and 4. We see a lot of guys doing that. No, Lokovitz is shifting in both corners. Of course, everybody's shifting here, especially as the tires start to wear. We saw the RPMs get down to 4,500, which is next to nothing in these cars. You can see how hard it is for him to get back on the throttle when he's staying in 4th, as you're not able to rotate the truck with the throttle. You have to wait a little bit longer. I would imagine that's where Lokovitz is making up his time. So Stevens kind of stalling out here as he gets under a second. Just 11 laps to go here in this race. It has been a long one. We are going to be pushing 2 hours here in this broadcast, as this has been an extremely long race. But right now, there's just a few battles on track. George C. Williams catching up here to Willie Evernham with about 6 lap pressure tires ought to be able to get around him without much trouble. We'll get Charles off the screen. Just see how aggressive shifting down is. There's a lot of traffic up here in front of these drivers. It's a battle for 10th, so I mean, if you like round numbers, you want to get that 10th position. Get a run here, going to look down the inside. Willie actually going to try to defend it. Oh, and they both drive really hard in the corner. George is going to have the tires. Oh, my goodness. Gets really loose off the corner. They're banging doors. Let's go. Banging doors for 10th. Let's get it. Love to see that. Go down in the corner. Willie going to maybe try a crossover. I just don't think he's got the tires to make that work. Willie gets maybe back to the back bumper. Looks like here comes Aaron Adcock. Aaron still 2 laps down after that penalty in 14th position, but George able to get that position, get inside the top 10. Back up to this battle. Charles Stevens has gotten it back down into the 3/10 mark. Ray Rogers starting to catch Garrett Kinder a little bit as well, but we're going to keep our eyes on this battle. Charles getting within a 10th or 2 and just cannot break that barrier. I mean, there is a little bit of aero here that does affect your truck, especially if you're getting a little bit tight off the corner. But you want this top 5. Charles has been working hard for it. Lokovitz as well. But neither one of these guys are going to give an inch. Currently, your leader is 9.5 seconds out in front of second place. We'll keep an eye on him, but this is the best battle on the track right now, so we're going to stay right here and see if Charles Stevens can make this pass or if Lokovitz can hold him off. I think Lokovitz has got the speed and can definitely hang on to this spot if he can just stay calm, keep the rear tires from sliding out from under him. I think that's where he gets in trouble and loses all that speed down the straightaway. If he can keep those rear tires from spinning, I think he can hold this 88 machine off. Patrick Miller says, happy you didn't get to blame me for cautions. Well, we still got time, Ratchet. Got a couple green, white checkers if we need them. Running out of time if you're Charles Stevens. You're going to make this pass. Just got a few laps to go. 4 to be exact. 4 laps here at 35 seconds a lap. It is a long time. And here we go. Charles Stevens gets a great entry through the middle, but Lokovitz going to have that outside line. Gets a better run down the straightaway. I think Charles Stevens has been better in 1 and 2, but Lokovitz has been a little bit better in 3 and 4, and I just wonder if it's the difference of Lokovitz is shifting and Charles is not. Did not get a good 1 and 2 there. Charles Stevens didn't. I think got on the gas just a little bit too early. tried to make something happen. He's driving the heck out of it now. A little bit over driving, that's going to hurt him. Up here with Ray Rogers, who has been slowly running down the 13, but I just don't think they got enough time. He's going to have to get done in 2 laps. Coming out of turn 4, and I tell you what, he's already in turn 1 and 2. Chris McLean takes the white flag, coming down the back straight, got a 10-second lead over second place, lapped up to the 8th position, and here he comes down the back straightaway with a dominant performance in that 5 truck. Going to take Poman 2 in a row as he comes off of turn 4. Chris McLean solidifies himself as a championship contender, and he's going to win here at Worldwide Technology Raceway with a dominant performance. Come on, as he gets with it tonight, just kicks. But, you know, Kyle Larson said it was North Wilkesboro was like one of those old school butt whippings, and that's what this was tonight. Chris McLean, man, he brought it to him tonight. So nobody, I thought Bedwell was going to be able to have something for him after that first run, but man, McLean came out with took it to a whole nother level. So, congratulations to your winner, Chris McLean, and everybody should be across the line now. So let's show the results. We'll go through that real quick as we watch Chris McLean burn them down. Chris McLean, Chris Bedwell, Garrett Kinder, your top 3. Ray Rogers in 4th. Josh Lokovitz with a great 5th place finish. Charles Stevens in 6th. Kip Easley 7th. 8th is Tracy Passons. 9th, George C. Williams, first driver, a lap down. Matt Rogers in 10th. 11th, Willie Evernham. Dana Shepard comes home in 12th. 13th, Chuck Pegleg Felts. 14th is Aaron Adcock. 15th, Stephen Ayers Jr. 16th, Daniel Holcroft. 17th, Alan Smith, and Anthony Ederson checked out after 75 laps ago in that 18th position. Well, I mean, just what a view and what a race that was. And we're going to go ahead and jump into some interviews as soon as we can, as we wait on guys to get down into the chats. And I tell you, it's just been a fantastic season already. We still got quite a long ways to go before this thing, before this season is over with. Of course, playoffs change everything. You go into the playoffs with a 1,000-point lead, and it all gets reset. So you can't just chill and hang out. You want to be there at the end. But tell you what, folks like Chris McLean, those with a bunch of wins, Chris Bedwell, they are set up really nice, and McLean just continuing with 2 in a row here. All right, well, let's do some interviews, and let's start. Get the Poman post-race interview started, and we will go ahead and start with your winner here tonight. We'll start with Chris McLean. Chris, is Eddie in the booth? You got a copy?
I got you, brother.
Man, well, I tell you what, Kyle Larson after North Wilkesboro, we came out here and we did an old school butt whooping, and that's exactly what you did here tonight. After that first run, you kind of got out there and you were racing pretty hard with Garrett Kinder. Got to that stage break. Chris Bedwell was able to run you down, and then after that stage break, able to keep him with about 2 seconds distance, and every pit stop able to extend that out even further. So congratulations on 2 wins in a row, man. Very impressive. But, man, talk about that race. What do you think was the difference there? I mean, 10 seconds at the end. What is that?
Yeah, that first run there, I had about a half a second lead, and I knew it was coming up on the stage break, so I was just trying to mind the gap there, just really use that as a test run of what the tires was going to do, not try to overdrive it, but, be able to run first place lap time. So that's what I was kind of trying to do there, and I just messed up there. Short shifted off of the truck was getting a little loose off of 2 and long and late in the run, so spinning the tire. So I tried to short shift it just to see if it would help it, and it was like he threw out a boat anchor, man, all the way down. He made up the whole half second on me on that short shift, but it was at that point where I couldn't go back, downshift, and because I was on the straightaway already gaining RPM, so I just pretty much made my bed and had to lay in it. And he got beside me, and we went off into one. I was going to try to cross him over, but I really just had to get on it, and I was putting a lot of pressure on him there, but I didn't want to wreck him either and ruin both our races. So I just did what I could do, and hoping he'd slip up and would be able to get by him for the stage win. It didn't work out, so just took the second there at the stage break and regrouped, and tires looked good on that first stop. So I just let her eat, get out there. I got out front, and just like I said, just trying to mind that gap because I didn't know how I knew it was trending to be a green flag race, but you never know with these races and with the tire limit. I was just trying to, mind the tires as much as possible because if anybody's got a set left in the pits, even on that last run when he short pitted me, I was a little early for what I wanted, but I knew that I had to go down because I didn't know if I'd be able to catch him, and I knew I wouldn't be able to catch him if we got a caution, and some of the other guys still had tires and they was getting thrown in the mix. So I just come down and was real conservative on pit road. He actually made up a good bit of time on me on that last stop, but I knew I had a pretty good lead. So I think I come out with like a second lead and then just put my head down and went to work, started hitting my marks and putting down consistent lap times. And I'm going to be honest with you, Eddie, these technical tracks, hot and slick, that's what I like. So it tends to fit my driving style.
Yeah, 142-degree track temp there at the end. That's pretty wild. I don't know if I've ever seen that high. I don't know if I've driven on that high. That's pretty impressive. So, you had a 12-second lead at the end. But I want to talk about this season. It's interesting to see, the last couple seasons maybe you've always been in the mix and you always get a win to be able to get to the playoffs. But consistency over the season has always kind of been, I wouldn't want to say a negative. Just something that you kind of always been fighting with. Finishing races out. But here in this season, you've got the highest average finish out of most people with double digits, 10 or more starts. Talk a little bit about that. What's changed this season that you're finishing races in the top 5, having good finishes, and that's why you find yourself up at the top of the point standings. What's changed this season, you think?
Yeah, man, I don't know. I know last season was just a lot of bad luck, really. But a lot of the stuff can be avoided, so I try to tell my teammates, there's people running too wide ahead of you and you're faster than them, but if you stick your nose in there trying to get by while they're battling it out, stuff tends to happen. So I just been trying to keep my truck clean. I've had a little bit of bad luck this season, but overall we've been able to, bounce back even in we had one race where I didn't think I was going to do very good at all, and come all the way from the back to grab third. It just seems to be working our way this season versus all the other seasons. But like I said, really just being patient and trying to just give you what the track will give you and the truck will do, instead of just trying to go out there and take it all right at the beginning or whatever and get caught up in some mess. But yeah, I think we're actually second in points. I don't know what tonight's going to bring because Bedwell finished second. He's points lead, but I think he's a race ahead of us. We missed Daytona opener this season, but overall we've been putting together pretty good races for the team, and hopefully we can keep it going and put it on the podium at the championship.
Yeah, man. Two in a row puts you atop the win column with Chris Carroll and Garrett Kinder. So you join that 3-win club. That's a pretty good club to be a part of. What's the plan? You're solidly in the playoffs. You're just going out for wins after this, but you got to be thinking about playoffs pretty soon, and try to go get this championship.
Yeah, well, like I said, we tied for the winning streak, but we go to Nashville. I think we're off next week, but we go to Nashville, and that's a good track for me. So maybe we can solidify that top spot, and like I said, just work with the teammates, man. Try to get everybody we can from Po-Man, as many of them as we can in the playoffs. Really what we're kind of focused on now. But it's like I told Tracy earlier, I ain't gonna give you nothing. You're gonna have to beat me.
Yeah, well, I don't think either of y'all would want it any other way. Well, man, congratulations on a two in a row. Really, really fantastic race. I mean, just a butt whooping if I've ever seen one. So congratulations, man. As always, floor is yours. Who you got to thank?
First, give a big shout out to all my teammates, man. They do a great job. Aaron, he heads up this Apex League, and he does a great job at it. And Jimmy over at Apex for letting us carry his name, run it as a sponsor, and uh, Garrett, all the battling we do, week in and week out. Chris Carroll wasn't here tonight, but he's a really fun racer to race around, clean, fast. Tracy, I mean, he's a great guy. Just the whole field, really, everybody does a great job. You know, trying to keep it clean and racing clean, and it's fun to get out there and battle with them. And my family, most of all, they're the backbone of the whole deal. My wife and kids, they let me come up here and have fun with my buddies on Thursday night and try to put this truck out front, and they support me 100%. Of course, you for the broadcast, man, you do a great job. I always enjoy going back and watching the broadcast, seeing what I could have done different, which today went pretty well. So we'll just watch it and enjoy it. But I normally try to watch it and figure out what I was doing wrong or where I was getting beat, and it really helps. It's a really useful tool.
Well, hell, you ain't gonna need to do that this week, as you kicked their butts. Congratulations, Chris.
Thank you, bud.
There you have it. Your winner, Chris McLean, takes the top spot. Let's talk to your second place finisher, Chris Bedwell, as he comes home in the second position. Bedwell, this is Eddie in the booth. Got a copy.
Sure.
Well, second place, but a weird second place is you're some 12 seconds behind the winner, Chris McLean, and I don't mean to stick the knife in, but explain what was the difference, do you think? I mean, McLean just had a different level here tonight, but you were able to get to him in that first stage, saving a little bit of tire, and you talked about that strategy being something you're going to repeat, and then on that first run, just weren't able to get back to him. What do you think you may have needed a little bit differently there?
I don't know, to be Chris McLean, I guess. Yeah, no, I think he just burned his stuff up a little bit racing Garrett in that first stage, and I was just running by myself, so I saved more than he did. But yeah, he definitely had more outright speed than I did. Short run, and then after about 20 to 25 laps on the tires, our times started sort of leveling off, and then I just couldn't catch him because he ran out to a 2-second lead, and then a 4-second lead, and then the nail in the back 12-second lead. Yeah, he's just better. I guess he just ran it a little too hard in that first stage. I was able to get around him, and then he just got in his groove for that last run. And after that last pit stop, I was decided to go ahead and push a little harder, and I'm not paying attention going down the back straightaway, and I hit the wall that is right there in the middle, where the trucks leave and come in through the track. Just not paying attention. So then that really slowed me down too. So then after that, he just walked on me about 0.3 of a second every lap after that. So I was just sort of riding, and yeah, I know we're not supposed to, and I'll probably get a penalty for this, but I was texting and driving. So it was just making time go by.
Yeah, I mean, a really, really long race. Just 145 laps, sneaky long here at a track like this. So it's hard to stay focused, especially when you don't have anybody around you. It's almost like road course racing where you just didn't have anybody around to race, no real character chase. But man, still second place, and you solidify yourself most likely as a points leader. You came in with the points lead, and I don't think you'll lose it. And so talk a little bit about that and what your plan is as you get ready to get into the playoffs. You've only got the one win, where a couple guys have got 3, so I'm sure you'd love to get a couple more to kind of get even with them going into the first round. But what are your thoughts on that?
I'm not too worried about it. Where are we going next week? What's our next race? I don't even know.
Well,
If it's
it's in 2 weeks, and
oh, that's right, 2 weeks.
Yeah, it
Let's
looks like
see.
it's going to be Nashville. So
I like Nashville, so I mean, I think I'll be pretty good there. So I think as long as I just top fives for the rest of the playoffs, I think I'll hopefully um, go into the playoffs with the points lead, and I believe that's a pretty big bonus in of itself. Plus the 1 win, 2 stage wins. I think I'll be pretty good. Not to take away from anybody else, but we only have 20 guys show up and 16 make the playoffs, so that pretty well guarantee I'm already in, even if I didn't win a race. But those first couple tracks are going to be interesting in the playoffs. That Lucas Oil, and then I've never drove on Milwaukee Miles, so we'll see how that looks. So I'm looking forward to it. I just really enjoy racing every every Thursday night with everybody. It's a real fun league. It's fun when we can do the excuse me. It's real fun when we can do the long green runs. Strategy comes into play. I was hoping to short pit him on that last pit run, and he saw it and came in right after, and he took my strategy away from me. So all in all, I just really enjoy it. I don't really, I'm here for fun.
Well, congratulations, man. Second place finish, going to have the points lead. As always, man, who you got to thank?
Just everybody on the team, Dana, George, Tony, our part-timer, Chris, Carol, when he feels like racing with us, Aaron for running the league, you for broadcasting, every other admins. Appreciate what you all do, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
But there you have it. Second place finisher and your points leader, Chris Bedwell, comes home in second. Let's bring Garrett Kinder up in the booth. Garrett, this is Eddie in the booth. You got a copy?
What's up, Eddie?
Man, whew, thank you for waiting patiently.
No worries, no worries.
But, man, a fun race tonight, 142-degree track temp.
I felt every degree out there.
I saw you out there leaning that right rear around. I don't know if you had a special sponsor you had on that right rear quarter panel, but you was trying to show it off to the camera guys. But yeah, it looked like it was pretty tough out there to save tires. And if you ever slid the rear, it seemed like it was really tough to recover from that. Is that what you thought?
Yeah, absolutely. First run, I didn't know what in the world was going on. I didn't know my ass from a hole in the ground, to be completely honest. And got Chris show up in front of me, and quite a few others, and let them kind of figure stuff out. And I watched their lines and what they were doing. Second run, I tried to implement it myself, but I still just cooked that right off. And third run, I kind of had it figured out. I was running. I mean, I wasn't running near as fast as what the leaders were, but running laps that I should have been running the whole day. So yeah, just a lot of tire wear, hot, slick, nasty. It was a good time out there.
Yeah, Ray Rogers was trying to run you down at the end. Were you noticing that, or how were you trying to adjust? Maybe dump some dirty air on him. How were you trying to deal with trying to stay in that third place position?
I was just trying to stay on the track. That's about all I could do at that point. I saw him come out of the pit road about I don't know. I think he pit 3-4 laps after I did, and that's huge, especially when it comes to Ray Rogers, who's one of the best at saving tires out there. So yeah, I saw him back there, and there for the longest time we were just kind of trading tenths back and forth. And then it seemed like the last 5 laps, he said, "All right, now it's time to go," and turned on the jets and reeled me into 3/10. So yeah, I definitely saw him back there. I even came across Calm and said, "Man, you're making me nervous just kind of holding station back there." But it was a good time.
Yeah, well, it was fun to see you out there try to wheel that car. A couple close calls, but man, able to come home in third place, that's really impressive. So, man, congratulations. You're a couple races behind, but still, I mean, you got 3 wins on the season. I don't know how interested you are in the championship, but you seem like you could be definitely a Final Four favorite.
Yeah, man, it all depends on how things play out and how busy this summer gets. But yeah, a couple races down. I think I'm sitting 6th or 7th in points. So we'll just keep plugging away at these races I can make. Keep trying to get these top 5s knocked down, and just keep having a good time. That's all I was doing out there today. After I realized I didn't have winning speed, I was like, okay, let's see how far we can step this out without stepping over the line, and just having a good time with it.
Well, tell me about the time you really stepped over the line and took it through the grass. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, I everybody was saying, "Oh, I'm pitting," and I was like, "Should I pit?" And I kind of got to thinking about it, and I said, I pit earlier than everybody else did, so my tires are like the oldest out here. I might as well pit, and by that time, it was way past my breaking point for pit entry. So I cooked it in there, and as soon as that curve started coming up, I said, I'm not going to make this. So I just kind of jammed the brake and got it to start sliding so I could point the truck. And, that old dirt track experience, it came into play and just kind of rode it around in the grass and went straight to my pit box. So, yeah, that was definitely interesting. I think Kip did it right behind me too.
He did.
So
more like ice rink experience.
Oh, it was bad.
Lord.
It was bad. Tires that are 300 degrees on grass, it ain't gonna do much for you.
Yeah, well, y'all did a good job able to get it back down pit road, no penalties or anything like that, so impressive. But, man, congratulations, third place finish. No Kinder Farmer, only one or two Kinder Farmer Ranch Wreckage Rewind, so we didn't get to give them too much. But, man, who you got to thank tonight?
Well, yeah, I got to speak on the Kinder Farmer Ranch. Big shout out to Chuck Phelps. He called it. Beginning of the race, we all thought he was crazy. He said this thing has he has the probability of going green, and we thought he was crazy. But so huge shout out to Chuck. I guess he willed it into existence about a green flag race here. Kinder Farmer Ranch Ratchet Speed Shop had both of them on board for a long time now. Glad to get back on the podium with the Kinder Farmer Ranch truck. Been cycling out paint jobs over here, so always good to be able to talk about them. Big friggin' Cross 5 cattle coolers if you want to keep your stuff hot and keep your stuff cold for cheaper and longer than anybody else. Just check out Big Frig and Cross 5 cattle coolers at bigfrig.com. Ray Page and Andy over at Wolfpack Racing. Great guys to know. Excuse me. All my teammates over here at Poleman. Aaron for not only is the team owner for me, but also is the league owner, and he keeps the lights on over here. Can't remember his name. Apex guy. Jimmy over at Apex. Big shout out to him for and it's awesome having the kind of the name to go behind this thing and getting some reputation behind it. Got a lot of good drivers in here, so it's a lot of fun. And of course, thank you up in the booth, all my short tracking guys, all my family back home watching, just out here having some fun, man.
Well, there you have it. Third place finish for Garrett Kinder. Sliding all over the place, but slid into a third place finish. So congratulations to him. Your Hard Charger award winner goes to your fourth place finisher, Ray Rogers. So congratulations, Hard Charger by Kyle Roberts Handmade Leather. So congratulations to him. As far as jammed up award, I'm gonna go with Aaron Adcock, who comes home in 14th. I think he had a much better truck than that, but I think that pit penalty, I think it was a bad exit, gave him that 40-second hold. I don't know that for sure. I don't get that kind of information, but I'm just guessing. But I'm going to give him the Trigger Time Indoor Shooting Range Jammed Up Award. Not an award you want to win, but congratulations nonetheless. So, man, I tell you what, long race, but fun. I think it sets the stage for what to expect out of the playoff. We get, 4 races left for the playoffs. Not a whole lot of time, and then, man, once the playoffs hit, we are getting with it. So, I think Chris McLean kind of set some statements right here. 2 wins in a row. And some guys with some good finishes. Garrett Kinder, Chris Bedwell, obviously going to be championship contenders. And you got Josh Lokovitz with that top 5, Charles Stevens, with that 6th place finish, and then you got some other guys with some really nice finishes. So it's going to be a good one, I think. I think the first cut of the playoffs is going to be the toughest one, and then it's all going to be dogs in there in the top 8. So anyway, want to give a shout out to Apex Sim Racing Gear. Want to thank them for being the title sponsor. Jimmy, go check them out. Go see what they got going on. It's at apexsimracing.com. Well, that's all I got. This is a long one, 2 hours and 15 minutes. Let's go. That is a broadcast and a half right there. So we're going to head out of here, go to bed, call it a night. But y'all have a good night, and we'll see y'all next time.